Good morning everyone, welcome back to another vlog, welcome back to a whole new year, 2026. I think it sounds good, I like the even number. I'm very excited to be back on YouTube, my absolute favourite place. I wanted to do a little slow intro for you just to ease you into the year and remind you that this is your comfy, safe space to just take a minute, chill, put on the video whilst you're cooking, getting ready, doing whatever you want to do, and pause the phone scrolling. I really hope that YouTube makes a real comeback this year, because I just think long form content, these longer kind of chilled vlog videos, are just where it's at. I love them. So I'm excited to be back here on YouTube. I've missed you guys, but I had a really lovely break. Today's video is very much going to be a little catch up. I'll chat to you about how Christmas was, New Year. I have been organising my entire house. So I will share all of that with you guys because I've shared some snippets on Instagram stories, but I wanted to really go into it on here. I'm just having my morning coffee. I haven't had any breakfast yet. I need to. This is literally my first day back at work. Gray had an inset day and then Rudy had another day off because his preschool teachers were doing home visits for all the new kids starting in January. So I've started the week on a Wednesday. And normally first day back at work is very much clearing inbox, getting myself sorted. But because I knew I had a short working week, I've kind of done all of that admin stuff in the evenings and before, because I knew today I just wanted to crack on and make sure that I can get a vlog up this Sunday. So it does feel a little bit sudden to be vlogging right now, but also feels really good. And it's a beautiful sunny day. This week is that week of super cold, freezing temperatures, but crisp and sunny. And I just love that weather. I would take that any day over rain. It is freezing, but I've got some good thermals. Obviously Uniqlo do their amazing heat tech, but M&S also do a really good kind of, it's not called heat tech, it's something like heat, it's something similar. They do really good stuff, so I've got all of that for me and the kids. So as long as you can keep warm, this weather is just beautiful. And even just having the sun on me now, it's so good. I do love a new year. I do love a new year, fresh start feel. I mean, it's not a fresh start. I feel like I had a really amazing year in 2025. So a lot of it is just wanting to continue that. But I feel really excited about some of the things I have coming up this year. And I just feel more I know what I'm doing. I feel really comfortable in myself. I feel like I know who I am. I feel like you guys know who I am and I know what I'm doing. And I don't have huge, big, grand plans or goals. I've never really been that kind of person. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I do feel motivated to start the year. So let me catch you up on Christmas and New Year and how it was, because I think I finished vlogging a little bit early. I like to take the week off before Christmas just so I can have that week before the kids break up from school to wrap any presents, have a little bit of me time. It's actually my favorite time. I love doing Christmas festive things on the lead up to Christmas, but then as soon as Christmas Day has passed, I am just done with the festive things. I don't want to be going to theatres. I don't want to be going to light shows or anything like that. So I do like to get it all in the week before, and I really enjoyed it this year. We did some really nice things, so much so that I've written a notes on my phone of things that we enjoyed doing this Christmas, and then things that I feel like I wish we had done, so that when it comes to next Christmas, I don't feel totally oh my God, what are we doing? Panic mode. I can just refer to those notes. I know that sounds weird and super organized, but things like that just make me so happy. I will thank myself next year. So there are a couple of things that I wish we'd done. This is very niche to London, but the Kenwood light show, it's been really rubbish in previous years, so we didn't book it this year, but everyone said it was amazing, so that's definitely something I want to do next year. We went ice skating at Battersea Power Station and I loved that. I think that's my favorite place to do ice skating because they have little skates for kids that just clip onto the bottom of their shoes, which is perfect for 4 and under. And then also because it's quite far from us, it feels like a real day out. We went with my parents and it felt like a really lovely festive day out, so we really liked that. We did a Santa train that we really loved. We probably wouldn't do that one again because I feel like we've done that every year and I think the kids have grown out. So I've made a little note on my phone of one that I think they'll be ready for next year, which is the Onga train. I don't know if any of you have done that, but it looks amazing. My sister has done it before. So yeah, we did some really lovely things. And I don't know, I just feel like this Christmas, the pressure was off and the expectations were low. We've got some crap going on in the family, and that meant that it was all just a bit up in the air. And because of that, it actually ended up being one of my favorite Christmases, weirdly, because I think the expectations were so low and the pressure was off that it just felt really relaxed and there was no forced fun, and we were all just really grateful to be together. And it had a really nice vibe. I found out 2 days before Christmas that I was hosting, so that was a bit chaotic, but to be honest, in my family, irrelevant of who's hosting, everyone kind of mucks in and cooks, so I knew I didn't have that cooking pressure. I just wanted to make sure it looked nice. I had to get a lot of last minute like decor and tablecloths and stuff, but actually I got some really good paper tablecloths from M&S, and I used it as a great excuse to treat myself to some new cutlery, which I am over the moon with. I'll show you that later. And yeah, just got some really nice candles and bits, and I was really happy with our Christmas Day like table layout. I'll pop a picture up on the screen, but it was so nice. We didn't do presents this year for adults, but I ended up doing like a little bit of a lucky dip thing for my family, just kind of using bits and bobs that I've either been sent that I don't need, or I bought some things as well, and that was really fun. So there was a little bit of a lucky dip, and actually the green Suri toothbrush that I mentioned in my, like, I think it was the last video before Christmas or something, my brother-in-law got, and he was over the moon. So that was really fun. That was like the best gift in there. Like the best thing was a Suri toothbrush, and like I guess the smallest thing was like a fun pair of socks from B&M. But it was really fun to do that, and the kids obviously were so grateful for all of their presents. They got so many presents from Santa and from us, and they absolutely loved everything. They were so excited. I just feel like the kids are at such a good age at the moment. So Rudy's 4, Grace 6, but she'll be 7 in May, and it just feels like we've reached the next stage where they play so nicely together. They don't like need us all the time, you know. We can like go upstairs and get ready and leave them downstairs to play, and like they help decorate the tree, and like me and Rich feel like we really managed to have some chill time and watch Christmas films while they played. And like I can't really explain it, but it feels amazing. It's such a great stage. Like I feel like I'm in the best time, and I'm really trying to make the most of it and enjoy it. Like they're both still young enough that everything's magical, but they're old enough that we get to enjoy Christmas as well. Something we did this year, which was so mad, is because everything was very last minute and we weren't sure what was going to happen, we decided not to have turkey this year for Christmas Day. And actually that's also because my sister wanted to have this Thanksgiving dinner like a few weeks before, and we had turkey then, and then we were all like, we don't even like turkey that much, why are we going to have it again? So we all decided we really don't need turkey. Like I feel like the main reason people have turkey at Christmas is because it's a big bird, so it feeds a lot of people, and we have 15 at Christmas. It's not that many, and a lot of those, seven of those are kids. So we decided this year to do roast chicken for the kids, because actually they all love roast chicken and they'll eat it. And then for the adults, we decided to do this like pretty wild thing. We went to a place called Smithfield's Market. So it's in Farringdon in London, and it's a food market that happens every year on Christmas Eve. It's been going for centuries. It's a really old tradition that started when the butchers basically would auction off the meat, because all of the restaurants in London didn't have fridges and they couldn't store the meat over Christmas when the restaurants would be closed, so they would auction off the meat. And now it's just become this like tradition every year. So it's butcher like high quality restaurant meat, but they're auctioning it off for like really low prices, and it's such an amazing atmosphere. Like there's people with signs, kids on shoulders, everyone. It's Christmas Eve, so everyone is like really in Christmas spirit, and the butchers make it a real show. They're like, well, you can get this in a shop for £200, but we're gonna do 100, and everyone's like boo, and then they're like 50, and everyone's like woo, and people are like waving notes, or you have to pay in cash, so people are like waving money in the air. It was so good. And we went with my sister and brother-in-law and the kids. Gray loved it. She did get a little bit overwhelmed at one point and started crying, but that really worked in our favour, because then the butcher gave her a huge rib of beef. So we ended up with like this huge beef sirloin thing that my brother-in-law cut up into 20 steaks, which are in our freezer now. And then he also got a rib of beef, which is what we ended up having on Christmas Day, and it was incredible. He cooked it so well. I loved having beef on Christmas. I know it's not traditional, but I think we all prefer eating beef. So that was really amazing. My sister got like a Peking duck. We also got a ham. It was mad. And it was such a nice atmosphere. Like at the end, we saw this lady who didn't manage to get anything, so we gave her one of our hams, and like everyone was just joyful. So that was a real highlight for me. I really enjoyed doing it, and I feel like it's a really fun like Christmas Eve tradition. Got to start defrosting some of those steaks and learning how to cook steak now. After Boxing Day, we went to Suffolk for a few days. Again, really nice just to like get out of London, get a bit of countryside air, see Rich's parents. That was really lovely. And then since being back, I've just been on this like organisation mission. This always happens to me in the new year. I just love like a new year vibe and getting organized and sorting out my house and a declutter. And it's the only time of year where I'm like truly off work, because I feel like, I mean, this is probably the case with a lot of people's work, but especially when you're self-employed, like even if I'm not working, I feel like I should be, or my emails are piling up, or like my DMs are piling up, or something is happening. Between Christmas and New Year is the only time of year where I don't get any emails. No one in this industry works during that time. My emails are quiet, and it's just like the only time of year I feel like I can spend time doing stuff like that, like guilt-free, without feeling like I should be doing something else. And like I said, the kids are older, so they can, my friend was like, where are your kids when you're doing all this organizing? They're playing. It's fine. It's great. So have we caught up enough? I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything from Christmas and New Year. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes until I have my first call of the year with my management team to talk about just any jobs that are coming up. Usually I'm actually very quiet January and Feb, but I do have a few things on, which is really exciting. They just help me with commercial work. So that's like when I'm working with brands. So we'll have a little call to catch up on what jobs are coming up, if all the briefs are done, if I have everything that I need. I've got a shoot day tomorrow with Georgia. So it's all just like, I feel like January is just go, go, go much quicker than it normally is. But I'm up for it. I'm really up for it. I'm very quickly going to make me and Rich a bit of breakfast, because he just came in and he didn't have time to have breakfast before going upstairs. And I haven't had anything either, so I'm just going to quickly do toast with cottage cheese and hot honey. Ideally I'd have some avocado, but my avocado bowl is looking very empty. This is my little morning routine kit in here, actually, which you would have seen a bit. These are not new year things. I was doing these last year, and I just want to make sure I'm continuing all of these things into this year. Every day I take a couple of sprays of the Better You vitamin D3 and K2, and then I also take 3/4 teaspoon of the Wild Nutrition Collagen 500 Plus. I just pop that in my coffee. I like how these can go in hot drinks or cold drinks. Really important for me to take the creatine for my like tight muscles. I just find it hard to get this in, because you need to, I mean, I just don't drink enough drinks, but when I do have something like squash, I can put it in squash, but I don't know if I love it in water. But anyway, I try and take that every day as well. And then in the evening, I've been taking magnesium, which has been an absolute game changer for me, as well as magnesium flakes in my bath. And then I've also been taking folic acid. I'm not trying for a baby. I just did a blood test a while ago, and it randomly said that I was low in folic acid, but I'm just going to finish the tub and then I'll stop after that. Are those all of the things? And my Simproof, obviously, that's the first thing I do when I come downstairs, because you have to do that before you drink or eat. So Simproof, spray, collagen, creatine at some point in the day, magnesium at night. They're all working very well for me at the moment. Okay, Longley Farm cottage cheese, of course, because it is the best one. If you haven't tried this yet, you need to. I have no idea if this is going to be nice, but let's try a little bit of spring onion on there as well. The Wilderbee hot honey with Scotch bonnet is delicious. Hot honey just means spicy honey. It took me a while to work that out. I thought it actually had to be hot. I mean, it can be, but it's delicious just as it is. How do you stop honey getting ruined when it's cold? Because as soon as the weather drops, all of the honey like crystallizes. Okay, then I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of the M&S Everything seasoning, which is just a mix of like garlic and I don't know, it's a bit like the Everything bagel seasoning. I mean, that's very sad without like avocado or some kind of like base. I'm going to go upstairs and have my call and catch up with you guys after.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, now for the best part of this video, the organization section. I cannot wait to show you what I've been doing. This kind of started when we got back from Suffolk, so just before New Year. I know it's such a cliche to like get organized and clear out and declutter, but honestly, this time of year is just my favorite time of year to do that. I love starting the new year feeling like fresh and organized, and I don't share this to make people feel crap about themselves. Like, I really hope that the bits I've been sharing on Instagram stories haven't made you kind of panic and feel like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I want it to motivate you, inspire you, and also like I feel like I've tried to show that it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. It's just a little bit less crap. But I do feel like if you do these a couple of times a year, a few times throughout the year, it doesn't build up as much. My mum is very much a declutterer. There's no hoarding going on. In fact, too much. She gets rid of things far too easily. I do like to hold on to special things and look after them, but I'm good at kind of like making sure before Christmas and birthdays we go through the toys and we give things to charity, and it doesn't build up too much as I can. So I have been doing both a digital declutter and a physical declutter. Digital I find less fun to do because it's a lot more like looking at screens and computers and phones, and it's not as like satisfying, but there are some things that I quite enjoy doing when it comes to like a digital declutter. Some of these things, I feel like clearing out a cupboard is much more a normal thing to do. I do think some of my digital kind of declutter is a bit weird of me, and not everyone will be into that, and I understand. And if I told some of my friends, most of my friends, about this, they would think I was a complete weirdo, and they'd say like, who has time for that? Remember, there's lots of things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. But these things just make me feel good. They really do make me feel good. The first thing I did is like clear up my calendar. I want my calendar on my phone this year to be something I don't dread looking at. And something I did a couple of years ago that I didn't really keep up is have set emojis for the things in my calendar. So let me have a look and see. Okay, so for this day, for example, it's Hannah's birthday. So there's a little birthday cake emoji, and then it says Hannah's birthday, and then Rich is in the office, got a little office emoji. I've got an event that day, so it's got a little calendar emoji, and then I've got choir, so it's got a little music emoji, and everything starts with an emoji. It looks nice. It kind of makes me know what's happening. So if I've got like a job that needs to go live, it has a little kind of like bang emoji, and I kind of will get to know what the different emojis are, and I find visual references like that really handy. So everything's neat and tidy. I went through and made sure everyone's birthdays were in there clearly. And something else I did when it comes to birthdays is I cleared through all of the notes on my phone. So I no longer have random notes that just I don't even know what they mean. I went through all of my notes. I deleted things that I didn't need anymore. I tidied up things that I do use. And like, for example, a list of month by month birthdays that are coming up. So I'll have like Jan, Feb, March, people's birthdays, and I can have it as a tick list. So I can be more thoughtful with my presents, think more ahead, and not feel like a last minute, like, oh, someone's birthday this week, text them, what do you want? Get them it. It's so transactional. Like, I love the idea of being really thoughtful when it comes to gifts. So it means that I can plan ahead. And I've already bought my friend Hannah a present for the end of January, and my niece a present for the end of January, and things like that. Just I find really satisfying. So I've got like a birthday list. Any trips that we've got coming up, I've got notes for them. I've got a list of kids' presents that I've actually had for years, that like good things to buy for different kids' ages, because I know as my kids grow up, I'll forget what like 2-year-olds are into. And so I've just written down like some of the things that they really loved at Christmas. I had like 5 different notes for kids' birthday parties, things that I've obviously written just before my kids' birthday parties, that like bring a knife for the cake, bring this, and it's just chaotic. So I compiled all of that into one notes that's like kids' party checklist. So it will have like a bit at the top for the guest list, things needed for the party, present ideas, checklist of things to bring on the day, so that I can just use whenever it's a kid's birthday party. I sorted out my packing list. Again, I had so many different packing lists for every different trip, so instead I've made like a summer holiday packing list, a short UK break packing list. What else? That's kind of it. Everything else was just like random. I haven't finished sorting through the photos on my phone. I still use an app called Get Sorted, but I downloaded it years ago when it was free, and I think you have to pay now, and I'm sure there are other apps now that are probably as good, if not better, but that's the one that I use. You kind of go through month by month, and you swipe up if you don't want a photo, and you swipe down if you do. And I'm currently on like May of last year, so I'm not too far behind. Once I've sorted through all the photos from the year, I will make my annual photo album from Once Upon, who, by the way, I've seen that they're now doing coloured books. I shared on Instagram like, oh, I really hope they do coloured books, because I don't want all these white books on my shelves, and then someone pointed out that they do. So that's really exciting. Makes me want to redo all my albums, but I can't do that. So I'm going to do an album of the year of all the best photos from the year. Need to clear through my photos. Something I really want to do at some point is clear through all the videos on my phone. It's too daunting. There are so many. I don't really know where to start. And then something else I want to do is clear through all the contacts on my phone and delete any that I no longer need or use, because there must be so many in there, as well as contacts in my banking apps I don't use. I know, like when I say things like this to Rich, he's like, why? What a waste of your time. But it makes me feel good. Those are all the digital kind of clear out things that I've done. Now for the physical ones, the things in my home. I'm going to take you around my home and show you all the little organization things that I've done. Like I said, they're not perfect, but they're better, and it's something. My friend Hannah was asking me, she was like, how do you do it? Because I just find it really hard. Like I'll clear out a cupboard and then everything would just go back in, and it would just still be chaotic. And it is really hard. It's not really something you can do in one go, because I would recommend kind of clearing out a cupboard and then seeing what you're left with, and then there and then like measuring and ordering things you need to put everything back in. I tend to use a mix of like Amazon, Dunelm does really good storage stuff, mainly those two, and IKEA. So let's go first to the hallway. These little containers are from Dunelm, and they come in so many different sizes, and they are super affordable. So I've made myself a little grab and go box. In our hallway, it's got tote bags that I might need, keys, headphones, portable phone charger, and my colour analysis keyring with all the colours on, in case I know I'm going out shopping, and I can just grab that and put it in my bag. So I have one of these, and Rich has one of these, and I've just just sorted out all the drawers. Got my sunglasses, and you know, you just have like drawers and drawers of gloves that don't even have a pair. I'm not going to show you fully into these drawers because they're right by our front door. These were very handy. This little area by our downstairs toilet was so chaotic. So I sorted out the kids' coats, and they just have what they need here. They're obviously wearing theirs today at school. And then I have this like hanging basket here, which has their kids' hats and snoods in. And then we have this little hanging basket here, which has all of our gloves in. I sorted out my scarves, and then this was the best thing I got. This is from Amazon, and it's hat beanie storage. How clever is that? I'm sure there's probably a more affordable option. For 2 of these, it was like 20 something pounds. I've had to move back into the kitchen because we're just getting our alarm fixed. But how clever is this? You literally just take the hats and you pop them on here, and everything is then just like neatly organized, because these were always like in a box and it looked so messy. I'm obsessed with that. I think it's genius. Something I still really need to do is sort out all of my coats. I hate our downstairs coat storage system, but it is what it is. But I really need to go through and just make sure that everything in there is actually something I wear, because there's no room for extras. Something I really wanted to do is go through these cupboards in our lounge. This one in particular was just full of random things, and I just wanted to make the most out of the storage that we have. So we've got this one here on the right, and then we've also got another one over here. Okay, so let me show you inside here. Ooh, one of the things I really wanted to do was create a little kind of grab and go box for the morning when I'm doing Gray's hair, because it's always so chaotic. I'm like running upstairs getting hair bands. So in here is hairbrush, hair bands, comb, gel, anything I might need to do Gray's hair before school. And that is just downstairs, easy to go. Tablecloths. Once I cleared this all out, I had space for like our juicer. Gray got a popcorn machine for Christmas from someone. And then I've also got all of my kind of workout stretchy things, like my foam roller, which I'll talk to you another time about, that I'm using all the time at the moment. And I've got this like clear box with all of my kind of rolling stretching items. I also got this hilarious like neck massager thing from Rich for Christmas, so that's in there. Everything just like has its place now. And then we've got our kindling and firewood and stuff at the bottom, and then we've got all our wine bottles down here. They were kind of lying down before, but I actually think this makes much more sense for us, and it's also, they're too heavy to put on this top shelf, so they're down here now. A few candles, just so much stuff got cleared out, which meant we have space to put all of that stuff in there nicely. In these cupboards, I managed to put like all of my Simprove. I have more than most people have, because when I work with them, they send me extra. So I have my like subscription, and then sometimes I get extra as well. So we do have a bit of a backlog. So I've stored that in here, because I'm pretty sure those don't need to be stored in the fridge until they're opened, which is really handy. And then we've got our Ninja slushy machine down here. And then I've got a box. So I've labelled these box, and this one is bulbs and plugs. And then the one underneath is party supplies. So that's like everything we need, everything left over that we have for like kids' birthdays, kids' parties and things like that. And then I've also got my old grind coffee machine. Obviously I have my Ninja coffee machine now, which we love, but this one is like a pod machine, and I don't want to get rid of it because it is really handy. Like sometimes at my kids' parties, we'll take the coffee machine for parents, or like, yeah, you just never know when you're going to need a little pod machine. I know this would have been much more satisfying if I'd shown you like before and after, but I was just in the zone and I wouldn't have been able to do it if I was filming all of it. So I'm just showing you the afterwards, but just know it was chaotic. I've also got in here our little printouts for the year. I actually printed out just a calendar for the year, like every month, and we laid it out on the floor, and we planned out as much as we could of like things we want to do this year, and like when the school holidays are, and just highlighting it. And I find visually being able to see the year like that is so helpful. This kind of toy crafts cupboard had a little scene too. This one just gets messy. I definitely have to clear this out more than once a year. This is like a frequent clear out, but this was a pretty good clear out. So I've got a box here with some crafty stuff. Everything's in like folders, things like this, like all her bracelet making stuff I just put into a big jar. That's been really helpful. God, I sorted this shelf out with it every inch of its life. I can't even tell you how messy it was, but now we've got very clear like stationery. And this is also really handy. I got this from Amazon, and it's for organising your wires. So that's been really good for like a little tech organisy. Got my little battery. I love this for storing all of our batteries in. We've had that for a while. And then I just sorted out these boxes which have like birthday cards and ribbons and things in. Got this for spinny pens, had this a while, but that's really good. And just cleared it out. These are a lot of kind of crafty things in here, and I just use from IKEA these dividers that I think are meant for like saucepans. That's really good. And then I sorted out this cupboard. It doesn't look particularly tidy, but oh my God, it is just so much better than it was. I think I actually cleared out all of these cupboards. So good. Still need to sort out these like random books here. These are my paint samples. We got these like little boxes for some medical stuff that we like to keep downstairs. If you know, you know. We actually haven't had to deal with this that much, but don't want to jinx it. This is kind of like my crafty stuff up here. And then up there we've got like hosting things. So like candles and napkins and tablecloths. And again, just putting things in, stuff like that just is so much easier. Oh, also on the top shelf in here, I sorted out all of our like seasonal things like Hanukkah or like Christmas stuff. There's so much, so that's in the loft, but it's like Hanukkah, summer, Halloween. There were a couple of things in the lounge that I just have wanted to do for so long, and I was like, I'm gonna get them ticked off my list. One of them being plug extensions. Like we have this little corner in our lounge where there's always just so many wires, so I wanted to sort that out. I actually ended up getting, wait, let me grab one. I actually ended up getting these from Amazon, and they are so good because I could get two of them and they could go into a double plug, and because they both go down, there was space for two. They're black, so they match our plug sockets, and you can fit 3. So we now have 6 plugs where there was 2, and so many less wires. Because before we had one of those long white plug extension adapter things, and it was just so ugly. Something I would like to sort out this year is getting all of our lights on some kind of like circuit where we can use a remote or something, because I do come down in the evening when it's dark and turn on so many lamps and side lamps, and I don't mind doing it. It feels like a little bit of a ritual that's quite nice to kind of get the house ready, but it does feel a little bit like unproductive. So if we could get them on some kind of like timer or like remote, that would be quite good. Another thing in the lounge is we have lots of blankets at this time of year. I've got this like nice grey cashmere blanket. I got a heated electric blanket for my birthday. Oh my God, it's incredible. If you don't have one, they are so good. You plug them in and you can like sit on the sofa with the blanket and it heats up, and it's just the best. And then I also have like another fluffy one. So I wanted to get something to store them in, and I actually just found this nice little basket in Dunelm, pretty affordable. Looks like this. This is where it lives, and it's perfect. Just kind of hides behind the sofa and keeps all of our blankets instead of them being like sprawled all over the sofa. Okay, we're now upstairs in the bathroom. I still think I need to go through my like skincare cupboard. Haven't really done that yet, but our bathroom drawers, I just like one evening was like, I'm doing it. I'm just gonna do it. So let me show you the bathroom drawers. Okay, so in here I've used these boxes from Dunelm. They're really good actually, and they come with a lid which I've just popped underneath, but I've got teeth related things, hair removal related things, medical related things, and then Rich has a little kind of corner here. I need to get him another Dunelm box. Sorry, poor Rich. He's actually okay with it. I'm joking. He's fine. No, I will get another one because it will look neater. You know when you're doing it and you don't know how many you need. In the bottom drawer we have got, it's not, see what I mean, it's not perfect. I'm using like lots of different bits, but I'm okay with that. We've got travel things, including our Suri toothbrush cases. Oh, travel related things. All the Suri kind of chargers and toothbrush heads. These are all like eye patches and things. These are extra products for when I run out of things. Sun cream, nails. And then I've got my 2 LED masks from Beauty Pie and Current Body. I love them both. I can't part with either of them. Got a few tampons there, a spare box, some bathroom wipes. I can't tell you, it was full to the brim of just craziness. And now everything just looks so neat and organized. I love it. Okay, and then the final thing that I organized is my desk area, which you would have seen if you do follow me on Instagram. I posted a little reel of kind of setting the desk up before the new year, and I'm so happy with it. We're both very happy with our new desk setups. Rich is happy in the corner with his pale blue eyes, shielded from the blinding sun, and I'm happy in my bright little corner. It works for both of us. And also now when I do Zooms, I feel like I've got a really nice little background. So this is my desk setup. Obviously the aircon is not ideal, but it's worth it. It's an essential in the loft. So I've got the same desk and chair. This chair is old from West Elm and the desk is old from IKEA, and it works perfectly in this space. On my desk, I've got my little Damson Madder plate, which I really like because I can put little bits on it when I'm not using it for a drink. But then when I have a cup of tea, I can bring my nice little matching mug upstairs and it just makes me feel good. A little picture here. This calendar is so good. I'll link it in the description box. Just nice to see the year laid out. I haven't decided yet if I want to write or draw on it. This little plate, which was a gift before Christmas from Elizabeth Scarlett, and I can't remember the name of the person who made it, and now I've stuck the disc thing on the back. It's covered the name, so I feel really bad that I can't remember who made it. I feel like it was Hannah something. I've got my YouTube plaque, which I've never put on the wall before, and actually I thought, why not? Even though they've actually redesigned these now and they're much sleeker, which I'm gutted about, but 100,000 subscribers. It was a long time ago, but I should be proud of every milestone. They don't do 500,000 ones. They only do it when you get to 1 million, which is never going to happen. So that is a shame, but I should be proud of this because it was a very exciting moment. And then this little magnet board is from Zara, and I really like it. There's actually some really good hacks on TikTok on how to make this on a cheaper budget, but I really like it, and I think I'm going to try and make my own magnets and just put loads of nice things on there. And this lamp from IKEA is also a new addition. I really like it. It gives a really nice soft light to the room because it hasn't got like an exposed bulb. And I also organised the drawers, so just kind of tidied everything up again using these little boxes from Dunelm. They fit really well. And just made everything neat. Next up on my list of things to do are these cupboards. This one has all my workout clothes in, and then the one over here has all my like tech and work stuff in, and it's just such a mess. It's just a little bit daunting though. So I think what you guys can expect from me in 2026 is more of the same stuff in terms of content. I really enjoyed the content I made last year. I would like to, like I mentioned on Instagram, kind of bring the vibe of Instagram stories to my main grid. A lot of people are like, what's a main grid? I mean like reels or posts, just that slightly more casual, chatty connection feeling. I think I get into a bit of a habit of being a little bit like presenter-y in my main Instagram videos, and I'd like to experiment more with some other formats as well, but more of the same in terms of like content that you'd see on Instagram. And especially with the vlogs, I really just like doing chilled weekly vlogs where sometimes more will happen and sometimes less will happen, but it's just, I feel like YouTube is a really nice way for us to catch up and connect. I do think so many less people are watching YouTube these days than they used to, which is such a shame, and I totally get it. People don't have time anymore to watch like a half an hour video, but I really want to encourage people to give YouTube another go this year. There's no point me talking to you guys about it because you're already on here, you are those people, but trying to get more people from Instagram to like give YouTube another chance instead of just writing it off thinking I don't have time for YouTube anymore. I think we have more time than we think to have like a little YouTube video on in the background, and it's so much nicer to have that kind of slower pace instead of just constantly scrolling. So I really want to give like YouTube a good push this year. I definitely want to do more with Foggy Mornings. I can't wait to film more episodes. As always, please leave me suggestions for who you'd like to see on Foggy Mornings, like the YouTube format, but I'd love to do more events and like community events and other things outside of just the videos as well. I've hopefully got some exciting projects coming later in the year, which I'm looking forward to. And I don't know, like maybe some of the trips that I'm going on this year, even if they're personal trips, maybe I'll vlog some of them. I've kind of took a step back from vlogging weekends and trips in the past like 6 years. Since having kids, I just found it impossible to do both those things, and I feel like I really valued the time offline more. But now the kids are growing up a bit, I'm starting to find that balance a little bit easier, and I do really love being able to vlog like on trips or on weekends. So I might do a little bit more of that if I can. As long as I can still be present with the kids and with Rich, then I think it's fine. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year, and as always, forever grateful for you guys for still being here and being such a lovely supportive community. I'm going to go wash my hair and prep for a big shoot day tomorrow. But I'm so happy to be back, and I hope you guys had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Please leave me a comment and let me know how you are, how it was, and I'm looking forward to chatting. See you in my next video. Bye.